Ready?
Project Love.
So my story begins in 2001 here in Los Angeles. So at that time, I was truck driving. I had my own trucking company, and I was subcontracted to a produce company out of City of Commerce in California. I'd go up and down the coast into Central Valley, down Imperial Valley, into Yuma, Arizona, pick up produce for them, haul it back to LA to City of Commerce. They unload it and they distribute it, throughout LA. I was already there a few years, and it was a good job, getting paid good, and it was a small warehouse, and they had an open dock, and the open dock at the other end, it stopped against the building next door. So I was really good friends with the dispatcher, the manager there, and she was telling me, hey, guess what? The company bought out the building next door, and they're gonna break down the wall, they're gonna open it up, and they're gonna make it into a cooler, a freezer for the produce, and they're also gonna close off the open dock. So it's gonna be all just one cooler, connected to the next building. I said, oh shit, that's cool. She was, it's gonna be a couple years though before it's, everything is done, but they're gonna break through soon, and they're gonna start. She says, but before they do that, they rented out the building to some film company. She goes, there's some new show coming out. It's called Fear Factory or Fear Factor. Well, it ended up being that show, Fear Factor. Where they made people fucking eat worms or whatever the fuck. They filmed a couple of shows there within that month that they rented out the building. So before they even started filming, the dispatcher tells me, hey, I have the keys to the building. You want to go in and check it out? She goes, you gotta look at this place. She goes, it's fucking creepy, man. I said, yeah, let's go in there. I'm into shit like that. So we went in. As soon as we walked in, I'm telling you right now, the fucking hairs in the back of my neck stood up. There was something going on in this building, and it was abandoned for years. There was nothing happening there for a really long time. So we both agreed, like, man, let's get the fuck out of here. Something's up in here. And I left there, and for the next couple of days, I kept thinking about that building, man. I don't know what it was. It was in my mind. So I'm gonna say maybe about a month and a half later, after they did their filming and everything, they finally break through the wall. And they broke through the wall, and there was just a huge hole there, almost like a circle. It was almost like a big circle that they made through the brick. And I'll tell you what, man. Once they made that fucking hole in that wall, that's when everything began. And I'm telling you, it was a full year of fucking experiences that I will never forget. And I wasn't the only one that experienced things there. In the beginning, it was just me, and people were not fucking believing me. Down to the dispatcher that I was friends with, she was not believing me until one day. But this is the day where it all fucking just got crazy. So here's my first experience with this shadow beam. Okay. So I came back down, I believe it was from Santa Maria up north, Central Coast. Came down with a load of produce and I got unloaded. Now, where we used to park our trucks at, we used to be in the back of the building, behind our main building and the building that they just bought out and opened up, right, to start construction. So I would park in the back, and it's quiet. It's fucking dark. There's no one back there. You could scream, no one's gonna hear you. It's dark back there. There's railroad tracks and there's a back road. So I go and I park my truck back there, and the refrigerated trailer that I have, the reefer trailer that I have, you gotta open up the doors and, you know, air it out and all that stuff, right? So this is about 2 a.m, get unloaded, go around, drive my truck to the back, I park it. It's dark, fucking dark as fuck. So I'm trying to look at my trailer, make sure my load locks are there. You know, it's the weekend, so I'm like, okay, my truck's gonna sit here till Monday. Let me make sure everything's cool. So I'm looking in the trailer, and all of a sudden I hear, psst. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm looking around, right? Because in that area there was a lot of homeless people, tweakers. There was an element out there always. So I'm like, man, who the fuck is that, right? I don't see anyone. Does it again. Psst. But it sounds like it's coming from inside the trailer. So I'm looking, right? I'm like, what the fuck? It didn't even dawn on me to get my flashlight that I had and shine it inside the trailer. I was just fucking mad curious, like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm looking inside the trailer, and this time it says, shh, hey. I'm like, hey, yo. So I'm just standing there. I'm kind of fucking frozen, right? I'm just standing there like, what the fuck did I just hear? I know that came from inside the fucking trailer. And I was like, hey, who the fuck's in there? I don't know why I said that. That's what came out. And there was a pause. And then this time it said, psst, hey. I said, what the fuck? And I backed up, almost like if something like kind of pushed me back. I backed up and I stopped, and I heard this little sinister laugh, like this. I said, motherfucker. I walked away, I jumped in my car, and I took off. That was my first experience with that thing. So I came back Monday and I told my dispatcher, I told her, hey, so is anyone experiencing anything right here lately? She's like, nah, why? What's going on? I told her, man, I told her the story. You know, fucking inside my trailer, I heard something growl at me and was calling me. She says, dude, look, stop smoking weed or whatever it is you're doing. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. That's not what's happening. I heard something. Gotta chill, relax. There's nothing. You're tired. I said, no, I know I fucking heard something, man. That was the first experience ever that I had with this fucking thing. It wasn't the last. So the next time that I come across this thing, fuck. Sometimes talking about this shit trips me out, man. So the next time I come across this thing, I'm alone at the yard in Commerce. I had just came back from up north with the load, but it was a weekend. It was a Saturday, so there was no one there. So I backed my truck up into the dock. I said, fuck it, man. I just got me a high pressure water hose. I washed my truck. I grabbed me a beer, kicking it, man. It's like 3 a.m, bumping music, washing my truck. And I don't know if you're familiar, if anyone's familiar with reefer trucks, refrigerated trailers, the doors, the back swing doors, When they're closed, they look like mirrors. They're really shiny, right? So my doors are closed because I have a load in there, and I'm washing down the doors. I'm on the dock, on the open dock, and I'm washing them down. They look like mirrors, man. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm all happy. Shit is clean. And I'm just looking at myself in the door, and this fucking thing runs right across behind me. And I'm like, oh shit. And I can see it in the doors. I can see it in the mirror of the fucking doors, man. And it wasn't a black shadow. It was transparent. It almost reminded me of a jellyfish type of look, but it was in human form. And it took off running across behind me. And that was it for me, man. I took off. I went home. I think I was more bothered that there's something fucking here and no one's believing me. And this is already about maybe 2 months in. This is about 2 months in. And this is my second experience with this thing. And still no one is fucking believing me. They think I'm fucking nuts, dude. So now this thing has shown itself to me. And what happens next is fucking crazy, man. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so we're about 4 to 5 months into the year of 2001. And it's constant noises at that warehouse, things being moved. And now you have warehouse workers coming up to me like, hey, are you seeing things? Are you hearing things? We're seeing things and hearing things. We're hearing voices. And I'm like, I am. No one's believing you, right? No one's believing us. We're seeing things, dude. I'm like, I get it. So these experiences continue. So one night I'm out in the back with my truck parked right there, checking the oil, doing, maintenance. And there's another partner of mine that works out of there, subcontracted. He has trucks too. So we park our trucks in the back. So someone was messing with our trucks. They were scratching them up and denting them and putting piles of nails on the floor next to our tires. And we're like, damn, we got haters, right? It's like, we don't know who it is. So my partner says, hey, I got some cameras and we're going to put them all over our trucks and let's see who rolls up and we'll catch the motherfucker that's fucking with our trucks. I said, good idea. He goes, let's test them out. So we jump in my truck. I'm in the driver's seat. He's in the passenger seat. He says, grab your TV from the back. So I grab my TV from the back area of my truck. And he connects the cameras. And he has one on the dashboard of my truck facing out to the street. Bro, when I tell you, I've never seen someone be so scared in my life. So we're just looking at the camera through the TV, right? We're looking at the view. And my partner is like, man, it's a pretty good camera. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a bit grainy, but hey, we can see clear. The next thing you know, we see this fucking thing walking up to us through the camera, through the TV. We see this thing walking up to us. Wasn't a person, man. It was this fucking shadow person, bro, that was there. This thing now finally showed its face, and it has circles as eyes and circle as a mouth. I don't know if anyone out there has ever experienced this shadow person or this shadow being, or you've read on it or seen it, let me know. But this is how this thing looked. It was skinny and it had long arms and long legs, almost like elastic. Like when it was walking, its arms were like waving, like almost like Plastic Man cartoon. I don't know if anyone remembers that, or even like the Venom character, how he moves around all fucking trippy, right? This thing walked right in front of the camera like that and looked at the camera and showed its face to us, and its eyes were circles and you could see right through them. You could see the back of the street, and its mouth was a circle. I looked at my partner. I said, did you fucking see that? He says, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see that. I said, shut the fuck up, man. And I jumped out of the truck and I started looking under the trailer. I was looking behind the trucks, the other side of the trailer. There was no one. Now, I gave it the benefit of the doubt, since there's people out there in that back area at that time that were fucking using drugs and, you know, homeless people. Maybe it was them, but there's no fucking way they got a face like that, man, with two circles as eyes and a circle for a mouth. So I'm looking and searching. I'm like, there's no one there. I jump back in the truck. I said, hey, you saw that. And this dude was stuck with the TV on his laps. He was stuck. He goes, I don't know what I saw. I said, you know what you fucking saw. I said, that's the fucking shadow being that I'm telling you that's here. You fucking believe me now? He's like, I believe you. I believe you. There's something fucking here. I said, you goddamn right, there's something fucking here. I said, now you're in it too. So the next time I come across this fucking thing is, again, I'm backing up my truck in the back. I'm already done for the night, and I'm in the middle of the street. I had to stop because I was opening the gate. So I jumped back in my truck. And I start reversing. And as I'm reversing, I'm looking in my left side mirror. And automatically I see this fucking shadow standing where my trailer is going to be parked at. The end of my trailer is already there. I had a 48-foot trailer. The end of my trailer is already backed in. And he's just standing next to my trailer. And I hit the fucking brakes like, oh shit. This thing, now mind you, my trailer is a little over 13 feet tall. Okay? This thing was more than half of my trailer in height. And this thing looked exactly like the Silver Surfer comic character, if y'all know who that is. Only it was black. It was a black shadow, but it was exactly like that. There was no face. He had a strong build. And it was tall as fuck. I'm telling you, it was almost as tall as my trailer. My trailer is a little over 13 feet tall. That one right there got me. That one fucking shook me up because it just appeared out of nowhere. And when I stopped and hit the brakes, I looked back to the mirror and it was gone. And I backed up my trailer. I got out, jumped in my car, and I split. And I'll tell you what, I got home, I didn't sleep. This thing was harassing me. And it wasn't just harassing me now, it was harassing a lot of the employees there. They were finally experiencing this fucking thing. Okay, so it's late in the year 2001. It's towards the end of November now. So it's almost a year of dealing with this shadow person at my job. And you know what? I don't even know if it's just one now. I think there's multiple shadow beings at this job. I don't know if this shadow person is morphing into other ones or what, but I have this transparent one. Then I have this shadow being that has circles as eyes and a circle as a mouth. And then I have this other one that looks like goddamn fucking the Silver Surfer comic character. So I don't know if it's changing shit, like shape shifting, or there's actual multiple beings. But it's really active at work. So I came back late. This is towards the end of November. I came back late from up north with a load of produce as usual. I'm at home. I got home maybe around 3 in the morning, and I received a phone call at around 6 a.m. It was around 6 or 7 in the morning. I was only asleep about 2 hours, and it was my dispatcher, and she says, "Hey, wake the fuck up. Come in right now. I want to show you something." I said, "Dude, are you fucking serious? Like, I just went to sleep right now. You can't wait till a couple more hours?" She goes, "No, get your ass up now." She goes, "I need you to come before all management and all the salesmen come." She goes, "There's a video that I want to show you." She goes, "You're right. There's something here." I said, "Man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Like, you're just now gonna start believing me after all this shit that I've been telling you and everyone else has been telling you that they've been experiencing." She goes, "I have video." She goes, "Come." So I got up, I got ready, and I shot right over there. She says, "I need you to come before all the management comes and the owner comes. He doesn't want no one to see this video, but I want to show it to you." She goes, I have proof." She goes, "You're right, something's here." So I get over there to the job, and she says, "Check this out." She goes, "Don't tell anyone." So she pulls up the video camera from the back where our trucks are parked. This fucking video was in the middle of the day. I guess it was a couple days before. And it shows, I'm watching it, right? We're both watching. She goes, "Just keep watching." And I'm like, damn, I already know something's going to appear. All of a sudden, this grainy black mist starts appearing, right? It starts coming out of nowhere, out of thin fucking air. It starts coming out. And it's the shape of that Silver Surfer comic character, but all in black. There's no face, but it has that muscular build and all that shit. And it's just, all of a sudden, it manifests physically. You can see it. It's all black, like a hard black. And it's just staring right into the fucking camera. It looks up, like it picks its head up. I mean, you can't see no face, but you can tell that it's looking at the camera. And then it just disappears. And she looks at me and she's like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Man, look it. I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this fucking thing." I said, and I told her, I think there's like 3 different ones that I'm dealing with. She's like, "Now I'm fucking scared." I said, listen, this ain't even the half. I said, "I'm telling you right now, shit has been happening right here. Big time." I said, "All the employees are experiencing it." So I take off. I go up north. I left. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go take off now to go do my pickups up north. And I shot up to like Lompoc, Santa Maria, Pismo Beach, if you're familiar with that area, up to Central Coast in California. So I'm driving up there and I'm just thinking about this video. And I'm like, man, this shit is getting crazy, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand why we're literally being attacked now. Like, we're being harassed. So I'm doing my rounds, I'm doing my pickups, and I come back again, another late night. And I'm fucking tired because this girl woke me up early, right? So I'm tired. I get back, it's around 3 in the morning, and I back into the dock, and the night manager, he sees me, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He goes, "Hey, check it out. The salesman, he wants you to go early tomorrow morning up to Oxnard for an 8 o'clock appointment to pick up some produce." I said, "Dude, it's 3 a.m. What the fuck? Like, I haven't slept." He says, "Man, look," he goes, "why don't you just go to the back, go to sleep in your truck," because I had a sleeper, so I had beds in my back, in the back of the truck. He says, "Go to sleep and I'll wake you up, like right before traffic starts, so you can shoot up there, man." He's all, "Please, dude," he goes, "please help me out with this." And I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck it. It's Friday. I already had planned to take off like the week coming up. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to knock it out and then I'll come back. So I told him, "All right, look, I'm going to be in the back." He goes, I'll come back there personally and wake you up so you can take off. I said, "All right, I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to sleep for a minute." So I'm back there. I jump in my bed. I'm asleep. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but I was asleep. All of a sudden, I felt like there was something fucking staring at me. So I'm asleep. I open my eyes, and it's that goddamn fucking shadow being with the circle for eyes and the circle for a mouth, and he's right here in my goddamn face, just staring at me. But this shadow being was half in my truck and half out, like his body, or his body was like cut in half. I looked down to the floor of my truck, and like its torso and its neck and head was the only thing inside my truck, and it stared at me, and I swung at it, and I obviously didn't hit nothing, and it just slowly went down into the floor and just disappeared. I said, you mother... I was so fucking pissed. I got up, got out of my truck. I had to shake it off. I was like, holy shit. Like, that thing was right in my fucking face. And this thing has no expressions. It's just a circle and circles. That's it. Never ever has any expression. So I got up and I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. I started my truck and I just took off. I said, I'm just gonna leave now. I'm gonna head up to Oxnard and I'm gonna park my ass there and I'll just wait for my appointment. So I called the manager and I told him, man, look, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave now. He's like, what's up? I said, oh man, I might as well just go now. I didn't want to explain shit, right? I'm just gonna leave now, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So I left and I slept up there a little bit. I did my pickup and then I continued back up to Lompoc and Santa Maria. Well, coming back down that night was gonna be the most intense encounter with these beings ever. These things fucking followed me up north. This will be my last encounter with them, but it's gonna be the most scariest encounter with them that I had ever. So it's about 24 hours after my last encounter with this shadow being in my truck back in LA when I was asleep. And when I opened my eyes, because I felt someone was staring at me, this thing was right in front of my face. Okay, so I already had left. I left up north to go do my job. And I'm making my way back to LA. I'm on Highway 101 in the Central Coast. I'm passing Santa Maria. And I'm about to climb the last hill before I come down into Gaviota and Goleta area, where you're on the coast, where the ocean is at. And then you pass Santa Barbara and all that, right? So on top of that hill, there's parking spaces on each side, on the north and south side of the highway, where us truck drivers usually used to rest and sleep. So I get to the top of that hill and I park. I want to take a break. It's about 2 a.m. and I was doing my logbook, so I was catching up on my logbook. And it's fucking black, pitch black up there. There's no lights, there's no one up there. I had a car like every other 10 minutes passed. There's no truck drivers that are asleep or anything, because it's already the end of the week, so they're already gone. They're already cross country doing their thing. So I'm the only one up there. Have my truck on. It's about 35 degrees. It's in the end of November. Have my heater on. Have my little light on top. I'm doing my logbook. And to the right of me, there's mountains. To the left of me, there's mountains. The right side felt like something was there, or something was staring at me. Now mind you, I'm looking out these windows and you cannot see nothing. It's so dark up on top of that mountain, and I can just feel something over here. I can feel something to my right side, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, dude, this shit, like, I already had enough, right? I continued doing my logbook. I see a car coming up, and I can see the lights, the headlights of the car in my side mirror, my right side mirror. I can see them climbing the hill. They're faint and they get stronger, and the car passes me. It's dark again. So the feeling of something or whatever was right here is even stronger now. I'm trying to finish up my logbook, get this shit done so I can get going. And all of a sudden I get this chill. I mean, I get these goosebumps all over me, man. And I kind of like just stop, and I look to the right, and I could see another car coming up. You can see the headlights coming up the hill. I'm like, fuck, that's a car. I'm like, all right, so you know what? I gotta hurry up and do this shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. I got the creeps up here. So for whatever reason, I keep looking at the mirror, right? And there's a moment, I don't know why this car did this or what happened, but the lights seem to have gone out for a quick second, off and on. When they went off and they went on, I was still looking at the mirror, and I shit you not, man, when they went on, I saw that fucking shadow being the one with the circle eyes and mouth on the side of my trailer, crawling towards me. But this thing is usually the, you know, average height of a human being, of a man. This thing was half the size of my trailer in length, and it was just like fucking going for it. Did you just see that? That whole tree that whole branch just fell off for no reason. That is weird. Okay, so what the fuck? That was weird. So this thing is crawling on my trailer, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it looks like that Venom comic character, that alien, where it looks like when it crawls, it's all liquefied and it's like all elastic and all this shit. It looked exactly like that. Then I saw at the same time another shadow being almost the same height of my trailer. Now I'm sure y'all are familiar with the Hat Man, Shadow Man, right? This was a different version. This thing had a cowboy hat, but it was really long. I'm gonna try to draw this out so you guys get a picture of what I'm talking about. It had a long cowboy hat on top and had the brim right here, and you couldn't see the eyes or nothing. And then I could see like it was wearing a fucking wife beater, dude, but it was all black, but I could still see the outline of the shirt. And this thing is walking towards me as well. Let me tell you something. That scared the fuck out of me. I never changed gears so fast in my truck before in my entire trucking career. I could not believe what I was seeing in my mirror. This thing crawling on the side of my trailer, almost as long as my trailer, and this other shadow being walking along with it, as tall as my trailer. I fucking booked it down that mountain. And when I say booked it, I was flying. I was fucking flying. And I kept looking in the mirror, wasn't there. When I got to the bottom of the hill, I felt something push me on my right shoulder, like really hard. I went forward and I looked back into my sleeping area of my truck. There was nothing there. Now, when I tell you that I didn't stop for the next 2.5 hours till I got back to LA, I kept fucking going till I got back. I got back to the warehouse. I didn't say one word. I didn't say one word. They unloaded my truck and I went home. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the scariest supernatural, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, encounters that I ever had in my entire life. I'll never forget it.